Good morning, everyone. Right. Right. Today, Master Trader Live, 12 o'clock. I'll get the link in a few minutes. Please join us. Be another good one. Going to stream it online anyway. If you guys are on Facebook, YouTube, X, it'll be there to watch. All right. So, sell setups. Buyers lost control yesterday. Is it a big deal? Well, in the context of what happened at the end of last week, it's our first confirmation that there's going to be follow through. Let's see, it's a little tiny gap up. You can see the cursor on the daily chart and all the others. So not a big deal as far as the gap up. And we will see if it violates yesterday's low. 65-minute, little hook kind of a pattern there. So what we want to see is actually fail. And then the green bar's low should be just a momentary stopping point on the way down here. Now, will it, the hesitancy as far as whether it follows through today is the economic reports for tomorrow, which I think, just based on last week's reaction to the unemployment report, I think these initial jobless claims are going to be a major potential mover. Definitely something that's going to be widely followed to see if there's confirmation to what happened last week. So whatever happens today, there's always that apprehensiveness as far as market moving news, which I think this certainly could be, with these jobless claims coming out at 8:30. So we'll see. As every day is, let's see what shapes up. Our bias based on looking at this particular index is there was a deep retracement to major support. It's retraced into where it gapped down from. So pretty normal stuff. And then it rolled over immediately yesterday morning and continued to move down. And you can see on the 65-minute chart. So today's gapping up, I guess, try and shake out some overnight shorts, see what it's going to do. And then we need to actually see if it breaks this low. If it doesn't and it trades inside there, boring day, but could be even better as far as a sell setup. Because when you get a 1-day reversal, it's good, after a deep move. But a 2-day reversal that then follows through lower builds up a larger area of supply, which could drive prices down below this level. And then we see what happens. Does it actually trigger? Does it retrace all the way back up to the high? And every day is, we don't know what's going to play out. Weekly time frame has still got a big, nasty red reversal bar, which has not traded underneath. It is in an uptrend. So while the daily time frame is now in question, one red bar in a bullish time frame doesn't change the trend. So the bias based on that is pulling back to that minor support area. If it goes a little deeper down to the next level, down here where the unfilled gap is, we then start looking for bottoming patterns. So let's see, as far as on a short-term basis, does it trade under today's low? If it does, stop above the high. And while this isn't in a clearly defined downtrend yet, right, because you don't even have a confirmed lower high yet, right? It's tricky. It's because when we look for shorts and we find things that are in downtrends already, we already assume it's going to take out the prior low. This one is not so certain about that because it's not in a downtrend yet. And we got news tomorrow. So it could be, a little bit of back and forth, back and forth. So in the slide, I said we'd take a look at the internals, and looking at them. So sentiment has come down quite a bit. It's not bullish yet. It's got room to go. And breadth And we talked for a while how it was deteriorating, and that was a problem, right? Under the hood, things were weakening. So historically, when we get an initial crack like that, and it comes back up to the zero line, it's a pretty reliable guide that that's where it's going to turn over. And then we see the actual turn. So the internals are aligned with this to move lower. And we'll just see if that happens today. Just want to see this here. So on that up day, you know, yesterday or day before yesterday, I mentioned this was a pretty decent number, the advancers minus decliners on a closing basis. Whereas many times you get an up day and it's just kind of pretty weak, even under 1,000 or down at 500. But this had some power to it. But you can see that it was low volume day on the way up. So, we read the tea leaves, see what's going to happen. Now we need to see does it actually break down? Yesterday was pretty, I'd say, anemic as far as it's actually a positive on a down day. So overall, while there was this huge amount of selling, right, that caused the gap down and it continued lower to the major support area, um, it wasn't like a big number down here at a minus 2,000 or 2,500, where historically that would be better confirmation of lower prices. So we're still going to trade the chart, see where it goes and how this develops over the coming days and what the news is tomorrow. You can see this equity put call ratio right away back to the call side versus the put side, where the total is, and it's still staying relatively up there. All right, so let's look at IWM, which held up incredibly well yesterday. But now we've got a slowing momentum candle under the 20. And well, it's kind of flat here today, but it was higher overnight and backed off into the support area. So there was a rejection. So that's in alignment with thinking today would be a sell day. As it popped up there, it got sold aggressively, but it held support. So still waiting to see more confirming data. Let's do SPY. This line here was a measure as to a downside possible target of around 5%, which was around the 50 MA. So we'll see if this violates these lows here today. It's actually gapping up a little bit, same as the Qs. It's got support here and got resistance overhead. So we start the day with, let's just call it a minor trading range, basically marking time between the initial support and resistance up there. SPX. So nothing was touched yesterday. Right? The strikes were pretty far away after that big move and that up day. You can see these average ranges. Remember, these were down like, I don't know, 40, 50 a week or so ago. So big move. It begins to open up, and that gives us some guidance as to day-to-day probability as to what the move might be. So, just based on the big news that's coming tomorrow, I would think that it would stay, let's call it 60 points. And it's opening up here. No, it's open, right? It was gapping up, opening up here. I don't think I have that on points. Let's see. Just to see where an extreme area would be. Base distance from the nearest ticket, percent distance, bar distance. Okay, so well, 43, that's 43 points. This is, I make that, and we go out to, let's just call it that, and it's opening up here. And we'll see where that is. So that's just below that number. Let's call 60 points would be about there. And this would be down below yesterday's low. There's lots of support, some support there. All right. A pretty easy way to kind of figure the day to day. If you look at average true range, and it's a 5-day and the 14-day average true range. So I would suspect we're not going to get a big thing like this because of the news. 62.40. Interesting where this is versus the next one. I don't know what that means, but I see it time to time. There's a little less certainty about the decision here and direction. When I see that 63, let's come down a lot. All right, 63. So that could be touched. A sell setup. Could that be a surprise coming and it rallies up? Who knows? Right, but it's here coming down to there. It could happen. Right? So things are tightening up from this higher volatility. Right? The ranges are tightening and the possibility of going to an extreme increases. All right. Take a look at other markets quick here. Interest rates are up a bit, no big deal. You can see they're down near that prior pivot there. The big question is, does it break down below this line? Pivot low, pivot low. This was a shakeout and it ripped right back up again. So I would suggest setting an alert down below here, see if it breaks down. I think that would be bearish. The 13-week still saying the Fed's going to cut. Um, so YM up, wide range reversal bar. There's no rejection. There's no powerful sell setup on the futures here. Holding up relatively well. So a clearer sell setup. It's down here. Ideally, when you get a sell setup, it's not a wide 2-bar reversal thing. So again, with news, I'm mentioning the news. I don't think this is going to go down a lot today. I think it's going to be more of staying within this range and maybe some choppy price action. There's a crude oil number at 10:30. You might keep a thought about 10:30. Usually morning trades are done by then, give or take. S&P's similar scenario, just kind of marking time there. Now, if things are going to roll over like this one, as a general principle, trends or instruments that come down the hardest, they tend to outperform because they're extended, and this certainly has. So and then it outperformed. It's up at resistance. It's starting to form a topping tail bar. I don't like the 2-bar reversal here, so it wouldn't be any kind of an aggressive sell. News again mentioned, what's coming. So kind of pick your spots a little more conservatively today, as you always should. Gold coming up to the top of the trading range. Not quite the top, but getting up near a pivot. So it's stalled there. Silver looks like it's going to form a sell setup. This came down hard. This is more of what you want to see on a sell setup. Yeah, an initial sell setup. So this isn't in a clear defined downtrend yet, lower highs and lower lows. It's where it should make a lower high, but it came down as this did. The reversal wasn't a big wide bar. Smaller range bars kind of grinding their way up to the sell zone area. So looking for a reversal possibly tomorrow. Crude oil at the bottom of the range. So there's buyers there. It's just a technical buying. Essentially, those trading crude oil don't know whether it's going to break out or break down. And so it's just in a relatively narrow range. And well, AMD's down a whole bunch today. So semiconductors, you can see this trading range, and this is something you want to have an alert on to see if it violates these lows. That would be some additional intermarket confirmation of sellers becoming more aggressive, because this was the strongest sector. And now we see cracks in the armor. Like AMD was super strong. That's gapping down significantly. So this is in trouble, so to speak. It hasn't broken down decisively yet. A lot of weekly charts are extended, and there was a rejection last week. And last time, I think everybody's waiting for news. Confirmation of last week, renewed recession, so on, and lower things should go. All yours, Dan.
Morning. Earnings here. All right, questions on. All right, this is when my alarm went off. AAP. It's a buy setup. Like with every pattern, there's different qualities, but it made a potent turn, and there's a lot that I have on my list that we use that term. It hasn't made a turn yet, but they're on our list. Actually, I have them right over here. Look at this. Buy clear. See how it hasn't made the turn yet. We need a bottoming tail. We need a gap reversal. We need something like the AAP. This was one on our list yesterday. WST. Same. So it's almost identical to that other one. We need a turn. But I'm watching those on both. So I like AAP on a pullback. This charter has a Climo. My alarm went off. It's just one tick up here. But even Climates, we need a turn. And that's why we like W patterns so much, because it's turned by definition and bounced, and it's a retest of the turn. So we love W patterns. Greg mentioned this yesterday. Where are you? Fizzler here over the highs. We'll start out with a put spread with a sizzle. I got an alarm up there at 158. Shoot, earnings are tomorrow. All right, forget about it. Let's see, that would have been a nice breakout trade. Forget about it. Dave slopping all over the place. This was earnings. MSauce were in the ETF letter. And so that's doing well. Myrna, they cut. The RFK Jr. guy cut $500 million to Myrna. That looks horrible. Other alarms, IT. This got killed yesterday on earnings, but I'm watching it. My up alarm went off. I'm gonna reset it higher. 248. That could be a nice day trade. Look at that beautiful 15-minute base. Talking about a day trade also, I posted it in Telegram. Look at this. B Bravo. A nice breakout on Monday. continuation, gap down, but look at that beautiful 15-minute chart. So that's for day trading. That's a beautiful setup. Over yesterday's high, but I don't trade in the first 5 minutes. So see what it does then. Laser, we're long. I had enough alarm on this. It's doing nothing. Upstart alarm. This was earnings. We actually had a short strangle. We took our money yesterday. It would have been even more money today because it's gapping down $4, but we were way the heck out of the money, like I forget 60.58 or something. All right, so that's the Amcor alarm. Another one. See, we're waiting on the turn. Waiting on the turn. So my up alarm went off. So that could be a 5-minute high. And then we're already in this, but here's another one. So we traded the first turn, but now it's a small retest. So this looks fantastic over yesterday's high to add. I got a nice fluid move down, so that's how we define a void. That looks fantastic. Let's go up to earnings now. I deleted a bunch, like always. So if I don't have yours, just holler. Open. Here we go. This was a recent meme stock, or at least they turned it into a meme. Running from 70 cents to $5. So now it looks like reality is setting in of the gap with no pattern. Sid, another one. What jumps out at me is the word turn. So this would have been a long over Monday's high. Today's Wednesday, but the gap down is messing it up. And a Ribbon was another earnings one in the same sector. I already deleted that one. That looks horrible. I thought this one might have been a survivor, Rivian. I see their EV trucks all the time. But look, that is a massive weekly trading range. And it looks like it's headed lower to the lower end of the trading range. All right, AMD down, Greg mentioned. We have call spreads on SMH, so that's helping it on the video. That's helping it. And it's not a semi, but we also have a call spread on Meta. Just as an aside, Snap, we're in. We actually did a condor that's going against us. I don't know why this company, man, just has wild swings on earnings. We only did a $1 wide. We did the 8-7, so that our put spread's going to be under pressure. And we did the 11-12, so that one will be max profit. SMCI down 40. That's getting whacked. Remember this is a stock that kind of traded with NVIDIA a lot. And there's no setup, but it's getting whacked. ANET 133, bullish gap, but no pattern, too excessive, tossed. This is one I did a put spread myself. I did the 39.5s and the 40s. So despite this big gap, I'm going to have an open profit. I'll look to close it once the spreads tighten up a little bit. Then first 5 minutes, but it's still 5% away. So I'm totally fine on that. Zeta, nice bottoming pattern, daily, weekly. But the gap's too big. Now, let's just say it gapped up here to the top of the range. Then I would say 30-minute high. But gap's messing it up. Upstart, that's the one I mentioned. We took our money yesterday. MIG, gapping up, bullish gap. I think this is building a long-term bottom. Can you believe this thing used to be $180? So let's give it a, when you have big caps like that, but they still have potential. I like to see them bobble around for a few days and build a higher range base. Right, OR, I think it's a gold or silver stock. It's gapping down 9 pennies, but looks great. Because we're long KGC. Look at that beautiful breakout we bought on Monday. Just beautiful breakout. So we sold a third. And so Sam will tell us we have 2/3 left. That's a bullish gap. Let's see what it does. John, Polex. Yeah, my alarm went off on that actually. Yeah, my alarm went off last night actually. So on a pullback, I like it, but yeah, that was on our list. Bullish price action at the 200 breakout weekly. So yep, that's on the list. Back to earnings, you just got to work an entry. That's a bottoming pattern. I like the gap reversal. So that's a watch. We just got to work our entry, but that's interesting. That's a bullish gap, but too big and no pattern. This is one in an uptrend. It's a buy setup with a multi-bar turn. I have an alarm at 50 spot 20. I like that. This is igniting gap from a nasty, ugly downtrend, maybe 30-minute high. This recent IPO, nice closing breakout into earnings from this kind of bull rectangle. That's a buy on a pullback. Hinge, another recent IPO, but the gap's too big. Reezy. I don't like a gap in the middle of that range. And, this big igniting bar should not have had 100% retrace. That's not normal. Or I see it gapping up, but if it does open flat, it's actually a day trade short under the week's lows. A ring. Remember this thing was like left to dead? We tried buying it as a core. I remember right over on this monthly breakout when it was daily, weekly, monthly, and it didn't go anywhere. But that is a big gap. Percentage wise, let's see what it does over the next couple of days. OR, I already mentioned. Cross gapping up, put spread watch, maybe 10, 15, 30-minute high. 1850, Angie, igniting gap breakout. Watch a pullback. ALB alarm just went off. AL, that's the one that I said we're already in, but making the turn. Say my alarm at 69 went off. Let's get through the rest of these. And then, well, these were off post market, but just so I know where I'm at. Backup laptop, and that's kind of sluggish. There's a gap breakout, but getting sold into. All right, alarms. All right, look, ALB failed. Well, didn't. Well, that's pulling back, so I'm just going to reset my alarm. ALB. The markets are all coming in at the open, so I'm in no rush whatsoever for any longs. Actually, in defense mode, we don't have many open positions. All right, so just many directional longs. We only gave one yesterday. SXT. This is the only long we gave yesterday, and it looks great. 1, 2, 3, 4. IT alarm. Nah, that was just a day trade. You can buy 5-minute high for a day trade if you want. B Bravo. We talked about. It's already moving though, but it looks great. That's a fantastic 15-minute chart. Wow, Q's just came snapping back. Apple was ripping. Wow, horrible, horrible looking pattern though. That laser. Might have to try my other backup computer, Greg. This thing was friggin' dinosaur. Man. All right, laser. That was, I had an alarm at 2040, which is an early alarm. Our stop is under 20, I think. I'll just reset it. Oh no, that was an old alarm. My bad. All right, fast. And let me check my tossed short puts. If this spreads up tighten. Yeah, fast, another buy setup, making the turn. ALB up alarm again. Yeah, I got stupid spreads here. They're not tossed. Incredibly stupid. It's gonna go high bid. All right, I'm out of half of them. All right, Charter C coming in, ALB. All right, cool. I got filled in both, so I'm out of my toss to the nice profit. Snap is a problem child. It's Fizzler alarm. All right, fast. I'll set my, well, here, I don't need charter. I'll put fast down here.
Comes good. Sly. We let it break the low of the day.
Yeah, that would only be a day trade to me because it's down so much and over here. But there was a similar one to this, Greg. We were watching now NOW. I actually like this one better. Has more room. NOW. We were watching this because it was down a lot here, and I wanted to see if it could, give me a couple more bars where it can't bounce. So I'll set a new alarm on this. About 9:06. Ross. Mm, it's run a lot from here, John, and you got resistance here. This is one I would prefer a 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you can see the resistance here more clearly on the weekly. So day trade maybe I like the 15 for a day trade, 15-minute high maybe, stop day's low, Sean. And GNTX, it's the place that it's made the turn after an igniting gap. So 15-minute high, stop yesterday's low if you want. Net, yeah, maybe if it didn't have that tail, I'd like it better. And then I'd also like it better if it had a bottoming tail, took out yesterday's low first. All right, Oklo. Yeah, that'd be a good 1, 2, 3. Sure. Yeah. Earnings 811 though, but markets are just whipping all over the place. But yeah, I'll set an alarm 84 for now. Oh, your Fizzler triggered. I gave it as a put spread. Let me see what the juice bar has. If you missed it earlier, that's what I posted pre-market.
Whistler didn't trade above the high of the day yet.
I did. My alarm went off, so let me check it. Well, it went over yesterday, so I was where my alarm was. So over 188.83. Yeah, it did. You said 189.10. Now, if it were a directional, I'd wait for it to take out this red bar, which was like $1 higher. But for a put spread for Friday, I was okay with yesterday's time. But we're probably not going to get filled anyway. Wow, spread at 53.93. Midpoint right now is 43, so we're not filled. I'll go ahead and put an order out at 60. Tell you if I get.
I don't know about your data, Dan, because this did. You can look at my TC. It hasn't traded above the first 5-minute bars high yet.
Well, Greg, I just said it was over yesterday's high, 188.84.
Understood. I'm just saying it didn't trade above today's high. That's all I'm pointing out.
SMH, let's see where our put spread is. SMH, we have the 292s. So 34, so we're over 50%. Nope, that's typo, hold on. Yeah, that's great. Let's move stuff yesterday's time. $291.34. Video. Oh, Apple. And now Tesla has a big old 15-minute bar like Apple. Video 182. 7.50. So we're up a little bit on the video, but not a lot. Yeah, Cross-eyed is a put spread watch. Yeah, that sure gave it up. Wow. Look at this, lemonade from yesterday. I was watching it, hoping for a 1, 2, 3. Look at that 15-minute shelf. That kind of reminds me of that stock B Bravo, the 15. That's bullish as can be. Fizzler high. Oh, I didn't get to the morning alarms, but look at McDonald's was an igniting gap, but I don't like the way it retraced. But let me check puts. The 300s. 70s. Wow, they're pretty. 67. Let's see if I can take out a prior 5-minute bars high. Keep an eye on it. That's sloppy. I noticed this stock of vape. Vape I was watching, and then in my minder today, it didn't show any data. So I didn't look. It either changed symbols, it got bought out, it got delisted, it got something going on with that. Let's see, Pert. Yeah, bottoming pattern, sure. Like the 15. Not sure how high it'll go, but a bottoming pattern, sure. Let me check puts. I would do the 45.50s. There's no weeklies. And the 45s are only 10 cents. So forget about it for me. As a put spread, Walmart, yeah, top of the range. I don't know, sloppy. But I know XRT was down a lot. We've been bouncing. All right, fast alarm. I had an alarm at 46. Man, I got very little influence. So it's top of the range up 3 bars. But Thomas, I love the 15 for a day trade over the 30-minute high is a 1-2-3. I love gap reversal from consolidation, 1-2-3s for day trades. Love them. Q's new high, I guess. Tesla and Apple, not from the semis. What a total mess of a pattern right there. You uniform earnings. I was watching a pullback that turned into a mess. OR turned into a mess. It's deleting some things from the other computer. Mountain turned into a mess. This recent IPO. Hugen broke down. Gelled gap is too big. Hinge gap too big. Ring gap to resistance. That's going to take a long time to set up. RRXMS. NOW. Low alarm. Greg, what do you think of this? It's down a lot, but the weekly sure has room.
Let me-
It's the one you and I were arguing about on Friday. It's a 1-2-3, and I said it has to go sideways a couple more days.
Slower. I mean, you know where the stop is on something like this, right? If it takes out that bar from 3 days ago, you're out. Market's just whipping around. If it rolls over, it's going to go down. This QCOM's working out very nicely. I don't think that was the stock we were talking about.
No, it was. Well, I can't say that with 100%, but I said I would start watching it. Let's see if it would go sideways.
I did I don't know, it was a chart of the week or something else. I showed that with a big topping tail on the weekly time frame. It's like a week or two ago, probably 2 weeks ago. Weekly chart had a big topping tail.
Yeah, I guess, yeah, I love this weekly also. Under 904.45.